Check and see if you can hear this. Hola, 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 hola. What's up, people? My mentor, Garrett J. White, one of my mentors. Every time he starts that, he's like this. It's like, come on, let's get ready to rumble. This is exciting. Just going to give it a couple minutes or a minute or so for the peeps to come. Just want to see if you can hear me. Trying out these new headphones, which have a Bluetooth feature, and I wanted to share this live broadcast with you guys because it was such a great question. I was like, oh, I get questions all the time. Please keep them coming. Don't hesitate to post in the group. I also want to take a moment to welcome our new members. What the heck are we talking about here? What's this whole group all about? It's really about expansion. It's about understanding that mental health and the problems that are that we experience with our mental health, like anxiety and depression, are not real disorders per se. They become disorders when we actually stop really focusing. Hey, what's up, Andrea? Welcome, welcome. So happy to see you alive. I'm alive. It's great to see you too. Thanks for participating and welcome to the group. Hey, Jen, good to see you there. DJ Nima in the house. I know, right? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up. Can you guys hear me? Because I Bluetoothed it. Just want to make sure you can hear me. All is well. Yes. Give me a thumbs up because we're talking about purpose here. It's probably one of the most common questions that I get. And it's interesting because earlier this year, why I wanted to share this rather than in text format when the question came yesterday, why I wanted to actually do a live broadcast was because back in June when I sold my practice, at the exact same time, I always say I sold my practice, but I gave it away for almost nothing, all because of my own doing. It's not something that I blame on anybody else, but I had just completely lost sight of all the finances and, just assumed that it was coming at me because I had reached a level of success so quickly. Hey, Jiyoung Kim, I'm going to answer your question. Please hold me to answering your question about how do I get myself moving? I know what my purpose is. I know what I need to do. Why is it that I'm stuck in resistance and why can't I move? But I'm going to answer about purpose first because this is super duper important. I was stuck in a place where I just couldn't see outside of the fog. I was like, here I am teaching about purpose. And then I'm in a position where I had no freaking clue what my purpose was. I was sitting there, and maybe you can relate. You are comparing yourself to other people. You're feeling like you can't sleep at night. You are in a perpetual state of fear, a perpetual state of, where am I? Where should I be? Am I in the right place? And that brings anxiety. When you don't know what your purpose is and you're not powerfully aligned to that higher self, to that purpose, you feel completely lost. You feel completely off center. You feel like you're in the wrong place. There is nothing more anxiety and depressing, producing than feeling like you are in the wrong place. And I was there in the summer. And it basically, when you're in that place, what you do is you start asking all these people. You start going to all of these different people, these mentors, these not necessarily mentors, but you start dabbling in 20, 30 different people. Maybe it's this one, maybe it's that one. And you start getting all of this feedback. And you start asking people like your parents. This is what I was doing. This is the biggest mistake that I had made, was asking my parents or asking my brother, and what should I be doing? I don't know what I want. I don't know what I want to be doing. And it wasn't until I actually went away and I actually sat down away from everybody, girlfriend, brother, sister-in-law, parents, and I just went back to my roots, which is in chiropractic. And I started working in a clinic in Victoria. My buddy Jamie, he went away to Hawaii to work on the triathletes, and he said, "Could you come and work in my clinic?" I said, "Absolutely, sure. I'm happy to do that." Yes, I got you. I got you, Andrea. So what happens is I then started ignoring outside voices. I started ignoring outside, but Carl, what's up, brother, in Peru? I started ignoring outside voices, and I just went back to what I know and what I do. What I just know that makes time stand still. My highest values. I started taking salsa classes. I started going back in, not taking salsa classes. I started going back into salsa. I started going back into chiropractic, which I took at like so many months off. I took so many months off of clinical practice, and I was like, I don't know what I want to do with my life. Maybe I should move. I was this close to moving to Kelowna, 4 hours away from friends, family, starting a new life and working in a clinic because I was so unsure of what my purpose is. And so what I decided to do, I basically just shut out everybody's voice, everybody's opinion except my own. And I got quiet and I started participating in morning rituals, and I gave up the story that I don't know what my purpose is. I started understanding that there's a voice inside me, just the same way that there is within you, that inherently knows when things are in a flow-like state and when your time is completely standing still. And I started completely focusing entirely on that. And an amazing awakening started to emerge. And I realized that my purpose is healing and transformation. And I was judging myself because I had dreamed of traveling the world and speaking and being a coach and transformation. And here I am in Victoria working at a sports injury clinic, and I got shockwave therapy or IMS or whatever, because that's his style of practice. And I'm covering for him, and I've got the shockwave treatment on somebody's foot, and I'm sitting there judging myself, going, "Oh, Nima, look at what you've done. Look at where you've gotten your life. You're not where you're supposed to be. You're not where you should be." And then I sat there, and it dawned on me that my purpose is healing and transformation. And there are many forms of healing and transformation. If I'm helping somebody experience a run, or their sports better, or they're able to walk better, or they're able to move better, or sleep better, or engage in social activities better because of their aches and pains are not there anymore because of the work that I'm doing, then I'm actually living my purpose. The judgment of it dissolved. All of a sudden there was awakening, and I felt amazing. I felt, oh, okay, I am exactly where I'm supposed to be. Once you are aware, see that your purpose, what I discovered, is the conscious application daily of your values. And your purpose is actually hey, Christina, what's up? Good to have you here. It is, your purpose is a conscious application of your values. It's a conscious application. Most of us are completely unconscious of what our values are, number one. And number two, we don't have rituals set up daily and action steps that actually engage us in the conscious, aware application of those values. Because I'm going to say something that I learned recently from my mentor, Werner Erhard, that really troubled me, but it liberated me at the same time. Life, in its essence, is empty and meaningless. I just want you to think about that for a moment. Life inherently is empty and meaningless. And that's a troubling concept for somebody like me to first grasp, because I'm all about putting the why, putting the purpose. But here's the cool part, what you realize is that when you realize life inherently is empty and meaningless, and you know that we're on this planet for 60, 70, 80, 90 years, however long you have, it's up to me to create a meaning out of it and to connect myself with that meaning each and every day. In other words, living your purpose is a daily practice. It's not something that just, it just comes to you without effort, without suffering, and without time. So the worst thing that you can do is sit there and look and compare yourself to other people. Sometimes people compare themselves to me because I'm in the public eye. They go, oh, Nima, you have this purpose. I'm so jealous. You're so lucky. It's not luck. It's suffering. It's time. It's action. So if you don't know what your purpose is, that's cool. That's great. Because that's the fun of this game, is consider that it might take you decades to really get connected with what that is. But it's important for you to know what your values are, to set daily rituals according to those values, and to stay in action, to just be in action. Because if you sit there and don't get into action because I don't like doing it, it's a job I don't like, it's just boring to me, I'm going to just sit and wait. I'm just going to find my purpose. I'm just going to travel and just go find myself. And you get out of action, then you have no way of getting feedback. So the best thing that you can do is to know what your values are. And I'm going to go through about 10 questions that are going to help guide you. By the end of this little live feed, you're going to get about 10 questions that's wise for you to ask yourself, so that you can really look and gauge, what direction is it wise for me to move into? Because consider that it might not happen overnight. It might not happen in a year. But if you take action and you're working somewhere and you're doing something, you're involved in a project, and 6 months later it didn't work out the way that you expected it to, well, so what? You have now learned that that's not what you want to do, and you've now refined it. It's like the statue of David. Your life is the statue of David. It's a masterpiece. All right, with me? I just got cut off there for a second. Give me a little indication that I'm still on. Somebody say if you're still on. Are you here? Or are we cut off? I lost you there. Are you there? Can I see if we're still on or not? Somebody make a comment so I can see. Are we still on? Oh, good. Great. Good to know. Hey, D. Thank you. Hello, Marie/Maureen. Hey, Florent. My God, Florent. It's middle of the night over there in Glasgow, Scotland. You should be asleep. Well, we got our session coming up on Friday. Don't worry, Laurent. We're going to solve that sleep issue. By the way, if you're disconnected from your purpose, consider that brain noise that you have is causing you to not be able to sleep. It's causing you to not be able to sleep. And so many people struggling with anxiety and depression, like, have insomnia because they feel disconnected from their purpose. Now, what if I told you that your purpose is made up? Good. You're still on module 1 of the Powerfully Aligned program. That's awesome. Keep it up, buddy. We're going to work on your mission statement. This is great. Florent, this is perfect because Florent just started with me last week. We're working through the modules of my online program, and he's looking for his purpose. So what's he going to do? You identify exactly what your values are, and we create a mission statement based on your values, and consider that it's a work in progress, like the statue of David, over years. And it's not going to be done overnight, and it's going to change. 10 years ago, if you told me that I would have sold my practice and retired from chiropractic, semi-retired from chiropractic, I would have thought you were crazy. And it was something that I had dreamed of and wrote down 5 years ago on a mission statement. And little by little, I've been chipping away at that statue of David, going through a divorce, going through business transaction failures, going through associateship problems. What I'm saying is that there is a lot of challenge and a lot of suffering on this path towards your purpose. Many people have this fantasy that, I'm going to wake up one day, it's going to come to me like a light bulb. I wake up and I'm just going to go into this office where I'm making a difference to other people, and it's just going to pay me all this shitload of money, and it's going to be amazing. And unfortunately, it doesn't work that way. What happens is we have this delusion that purpose comes as this thing that comes to us. Okay? Hear this out. Purpose is not something that comes to you as this flash of inspiration. It happens as a result of giving. It's a mission. It's something that we do by giving. We have this delusion that it's supposed to be coming to us like this thing that we receive. It works backwards. Your purpose comes as a result of giving. So I knew that healing and transformation is my purpose. So there's many forms. And the cool part about it is because I'm connected to my mission statement each day, whether I'm having a patient and I'm adjusting their ankle, or whether I'm clearing the stress from their nervous system, or whether I'm helping them get into playing tennis more, or whether I'm doing a coaching with somebody struggling with anxiety or feeling stuck and purposeless in their life, reconnecting them to their purpose so that they can heal and transform and then be a stand for other people, I'm living my purpose. Right now, as I'm speaking and teaching, I'm living my purpose. I know that teaching is my purpose. It comes in many forms. I'm not getting paid for this. Why am I doing? I'm not getting paid. None of you who are watching have paid me. In fact, there are some people in this group who've been consuming my content for years and haven't paid me a dime. And there's others who've become clients, who are chiropractic patients, who become coaching clients of mine, who then become facilitators of mine or are now working with me as my team. So how did I get there? You get there by giving. None of these people came to me and just gave money to me or resources to me without first having received something from me in the first place, through the content, through the love, through the giving that I'm giving. So consider that if you want to find what your purpose is, find out what your values are, ask yourself some very powerful questions, and then get busy giving. But I'm not getting paid for it. You know how long I had to speak and give free talks and free care in order for people to start getting that this is my mission and purpose, and the referrals started coming in? It's a long road, and it takes years. I'm 41 years old, and I'm still refining it. And what happens is you keep developing and developing it, and the next level, once you get it, life isn't perfect all the time, because now the challenges that I'm facing now on my level, because I'm connected to my purpose each and every day, I work with clients one-on-one and in groups, and I do live trainings. By the way, make sure you're there in Montreal. Private message me, and we'll get you a ticket for our Montreal live training on how to do the overview and how to clear the crap that's in the way and the resentments that are preventing you from seeing your purpose. And so that's another major setback for you, is if you have resentment and regret in your life, they act as fog. So resentment, and so this is your clear vision. This is basically you trying to find your purpose, but resentment and regret is stopping you. But once you use the right tools, get the right mentorship, and clear that resentment, all of a sudden your purpose, your next move becomes clear. So it's really important, number one, to know what your values are, and to then understand and affirm them each day and be consciously aware of them. Because if you know what your values are, you could be living your purpose working as a Starbucks barista. It's possible. If you know that your purpose is connection and healing or transformation or displaying your art or being a parent, being a mother, being a father, being a teacher, you can live your purpose in many different forms wherever you are. If you're a teacher and you retired and you're not consciously acting towards the teaching, like one of my clients, she would get chronic illnesses. All of a sudden, for 8 years, she had chronic illnesses, one thing after another, for 8 years. I said, well, what happened? 8 years ago, she goes, I retired. Well, what did you retire from? Teaching. Do you love being a teacher? Yeah. Well, that's her purpose. And she hasn't. She somehow had the idea that once I retire, then I'm done. I'm purposeless. And by not engaging actively, by taking action steps, maybe getting mentorship and, having accountability to each day to be living according to that purpose, then nothing really gets done. Then the body actually starts to fall apart because you're not actively engaged and connected to your purpose. So consider that it's a work in progress, number one, that it's not going to just come to you, that taking action is the most important thing, because by taking action, you're getting the feedback, which then refines your journey. And the purpose thing is something that is developed over years, but you know what your values are, and it's time to get doing them and just trust that everything comes into place. I could argue that, oh my God, I'm giving away free content. I'm taking the time to do this, this stuff. I'm giving this away for free when clients are paying me for this information. But that's just not how it works. It works because the reason why I'm doing this is because it gives me fulfillment. Me doing this is my purpose. Teaching is my purpose. Life is empty and meaningless. So if we don't assign a purpose to our lives, then the time that we have on this planet isn't as fulfilling. So that's really important. Know what your values are. Take action steps according to those values, and just trust and embrace. Stop pushing this whole fantasy of purpose onto yourself, because once you know your purpose, it doesn't mean that your problems are solved. I'm on a next level of challenge. What I'm doing now is, now that I know what my values are, I know what my purpose is, my challenge is delegating all of the things that I have that aren't my purpose into having people who are actually, geniuses doing that purpose themselves, doing those activities themselves. So my next level now is constantly making a list of all of the stuff that I need to do that needs to be done, so that I can divide it into stuff that I love to do, and then delegate the stuff that I don't love to do to other people who are better at it than me. So that's my next level of challenge. So is the constantly working at delegating, so that every single action step that I do is connected to my highest values. That's the secret to life, is that your daily action steps are connected to your highest values. And doing this, teaching, speaking, coaching, adjusting, are truly my highest values. And spending time with family and friends are truly my highest values. So 10 questions. Okay, you're going to want to write these down. Are you there?